Welcome to Alpha Centurion. I shall be your guide. Today we are going to be going over Justification from the Council of Trent from January the 13th, 1547. I had already filmed a longer version of this video, but the audio was lost during export. So I'm going to do it in shorter chunks because it was a two-part video and the first part was already 30. So let's make it shorter. So right now I am in session, I believe 21 or 22. And something that a lot of Protestants say was never covered in Trent was just covered. So let's get some grounding here. So we're going to be asking, what is justification? And we are also going to be looking at the question, did God or the devil cause us to commit the first sin and thus cause us to fall from grace? This will be covered in this video and in the next video. The next video will be chapter 3. So Adam made man unclean. Here, Adam, the word Adam actually just means humanity. The actual words Adam and Eve can be understood as Adama or red earth, or the worker of fertile soil, and Eve, which is actually Shava or Hava, would be understood as either living mother or as full of breath. For those of you who are Catholics who are watching this, full of breath might make you think of something. And I think that's intentional in the Gospels. But let's go back to this here. So it is Adam, according to Trent, it is Adam who made man unclean. Adam is the one who made them, who made us, children of wrath. And Adam here is representing both young and old, both male and female. Okay, so I know that both parents played a role, but that's what you got to understand here, is that we're using the term Adam to mean mankind, humankind, humanity. But that doesn't mean that somehow he played the only role here. There are other abstracts or powers. So hence you have the snake. Now, in the original writer's intent, the original writers didn't conceptualize the snake as the devil. Instead, the snake kind of represents, and to the original writers, to the original authors, an anti-life force. If you ever read comic books, the anti-life equation, well, the inspiration for that thought comes from here, comes from what the snake represents in this older term, because the devil, as we will understand it later, and as Trent will be very explicit in session 6, is the tempter, the accuser, the witness against man. He is, or this abstract, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, is here representing death. So the snake, this conceptual devil, is a symbolic representative of death. That is the ancient snake that used to kill our ancestors. And this snake that primordial ancestors feared, well, they feared the snake eating their children. But here, now the snake takes this stronger, deeper method. So because of that, even the snake is punished, because there is justice in the world. And that's where we're going to go in the next one, which is it original sin that happens, or is it original justice that happens? And the other part that you have to understand is that humans did this action through free will. But that's not the limit of free will. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about free will as an evil, but instead that neither free will alone, nor human nature, nor the limitations imposed by Mosaic law are enough in themselves to save us from our own broken inclinations. As Trent says, only Jesus can and has saved us, justified us. Thus, Jesus' mission, according to chapter 1 of Trent, was not merely for the forgiveness of sins, but was to redeem the Jew who had broken the law given by God to Moses, and also to bring a sense of justice to the Gentiles who followed justice not. And also to bring the opportunity for the adoption of all men, that is, humankind, into the vine as sons of God. Or some more liberal translations might say sons and daughters of God. Jesus is a hope for the entire world. Or as 1 John chapter 2, verse 2 puts it, but if anyone does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous. He is the propitiation for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the sins of the entire world. Again, that's biblical. So for those who are saying that Jesus didn't come to save the entire world, he did. He's going to call many, and few will be chosen. We'll get into all of that in the next few videos. I hope you like this shorter version. It's going to make the series take much longer, but I feel this is going to be easier to take in these kind of bite-sized portions. I'm going to do a little bit of editing in this video, and then I'll post it up hopefully later this week. Peace, like, and subscribe. I hope you're enjoying this series. I have been finding the later chapters, the later sessions of Trent very edifying. Justification is the first chapter that really hits hard, and then there will be other chapters later on that will really hit to the core of Christian belief, not just Catholic, Christian belief. And there's a lot of misunderstanding by Protestants, especially Protestants who are very outspoken, like Mike Winger and James White. There's a lot of misunderstanding about what Trent actually says. I do recommend you do a read along with me. I am reading the Council of Trent that's published by Tan Books or Tan Publishing. I recommend you get it. What's really great is that there is, I should say, an issue with the actual Council of Trent that's not an issue with this translation. So Council of Trent comes off really arrogant. It really does. If you're a Protestant, you can see how they're going to get offended, because the Council of Trent just says things. It just declares things, and it doesn't say where it's located in the Bible. In the notes, it says exactly where the verses are located, and that makes what they're saying a lot more consumable, a lot more edifying, because it actually says where they're getting this from, and that really does help. It really does help to see it in the Bible and not just see it as proclamations by a group of circle of religious bishops. It helps it a lot to be able to actually see in the Bible where they're drawing these ideas from, and some of it's actually direct quotes. You just have to really understand where they're drawing it from to be able to read exactly what they're saying in biblical terms. All right. Talk to y'all later.